What is going on out there, YouTube? I am the Anonymous Prepper. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 4 of building a bug out bag on a budget. Now, first and foremost, you have to go back and watch part 1, 2, and 3. It's a pretty simple setup for a bug out video, how to build a bag, what you need to start with your basics. Now we're still in sort of the beginning to intermediate category here of items to have for your bug out bag, and I just threw together some items really quick for the more advancing of having a bug out bag. Now you have what you need from part 1, 2, and 3. Now you're getting into more advanced stuff for longer term emergency preparedness, bugging out, or if it starts to really get bad. We're not all the way up to that category of extreme bugging out yet, but this is stuff you should have if, say, it's over a week and you have to post up somewhere else and you have to start thinking about, where am I going to go? How am I going to survive long term? That kind of thing. So, I figure we will start over here. Now, we have here tape. 3 kinds. You have your clear tape, your good old electrical tape, and some good quality duct tape. These 3 items, once you have your basic bug out bag built from the first 3 videos, then you can advance to carrying some additional tape, having better tape, and going from there. Now also, one item people don't talk about very much, a good sharpener. Now this is good for your knives. You can use it for a hatchet, depending on the type of sharpening tool you carry. This one I just use for knives. I don't need nothing really fancy, because if I have to sharpen a hatchet, I can do it on a rock if I need to. So definitely have one of these though. Now, medical. This is a big one now. This is getting to more advanced. Say you have a first aid kit. You have your band-aids, your medicines, some burn creams, things like that to cover your basics. Now you want to have some good bandages. This one here, you can make it into a sling. Comes in handy. Great little item. Now something else. This is one I don't see very much, is these guys here. If you suffer a finger injury, or even, say, a toe injury, you have to have something to splint your finger or your toe. Some good little splints. And these are not that expensive, maybe $1, if you know where to look. Go on Temu, check on Amazon, even eBay. You'll find these for very, very cheap. This one here is a big one here. This is an emergency bandage, but it's an Israeli bandage, as many people know. There's 2 of these in here. Now, this item is for a major wound, injury. We have to put pressure on it, and you have to wrap it. If you go on Temu, these are around maybe $2, $3 at the most, if you can find a good deal on them. Definitely have these, because if you get a nice gash in your arm and you have to stitch it up, or you don't have access to certain things and you have to, wrap it up and make do with what you got, definitely have these. It'll come in handy. Now, let's see what else we got here. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yes. More medical. Additional bandages. You can get some extra gauze pads, whatever it may be. Have some extra of these. They will come in handy. Have them. They're not that expensive if you know where to look. And go from there. Now, let's see. What else can we go with right now? Okay. We have here a sewing kit. Nothing fancy. It was maybe about $1.50. Your basic color yarns, all that jazz. Has some needles in there. Measuring tape if you need it, which just to have it, never hurts. But and if you need to stitch yourself, if you need to fix your clothes, things like that, definitely have a sewing kit. You're at a point now, this is part 4, to where now you should have a sewing kit. This is for a longer term solution. So definitely pick that up if you can get it. They're not that expensive, only a couple of bucks. Now, this item next is, as you can see right here, I have 3 of these because they're very, very cheap what I got them for, but they do work. Inflatable pillows. Now, if you're in a situation where, like how I've talked about in previous videos about myself, I don't have really anywhere I can go. So if I have to post up, I want a little bit of comfort. And these weigh nothing. They're basically nothing. Inflatable pillows. That way you can rest your head on something and you can sleep a little bit better. And I carry 3 of them just because if I have a sore arm, if I have a sore leg, I can elevate it a little bit too, which is another little handy tip there. Now, next item. This one here. It is an emergency candle, and I have it wrapped in a plastic bag just so it doesn't leak. But this can give you a little bit of heat, or if you need to heat something up, or just to have a little bit of extra light. Definitely pick one of these up. They usually come with a wick too, so you're good to go. So definitely pick that up. Now, the next item, let's see, where can we go? Morale. Now this one can go either way. A lot of people may say, oh no, that's not good to do that. Well, if you're stressed out really bad and you need some relief, you got to have some options here. Temu has a set of these. They're only $2. You get a larger one, which is, I think, 20 ounces, I believe, and then a small one, which is 6 ounces. Or, like me also, I just go with the big boy and take it with me. And people will say, well, what about the weight? Me, I'm a strong guy, so I'm going to take it with me. Now, if you're not that strong, you could take one of these with you, but it helps with your morale if you need to sleep or just to take the edge off. And, you know, something to help you get by if you need it. Something else to add to that with these is cigarettes. Now, I'm not a smoker, but if there's a situation that's very, very stressful and you need to calm down, never hurts to have a pack of cigarettes in your bag. Plus, if you can put it this way, if you need to get a cup of coffee or, you know, some extra food, you could trade somebody a couple of cigarettes. And they will definitely take those, because people who want cigarettes bad enough, they will trade you to, you know, get some of that extra stress relief they need. Now, let's see, where else can we go? Yes. Let's move to... Well, I have covered shelter before, but now let's get into some more advanced stuff. This here is a camo tarp. More heavy duty compared to this guy here, but I also do recommend, if you have your basic space blankets, then you get into something more advanced. They make camo as well. Now, as you advance your bug out bag, it doesn't hurt to get something that can blend into your environment. And that's why I recommend some of these. And of course, a camo tarp. I'm not going to pull it out here because it's very big, but if you look on Amazon, Temu, eBay, camo tarps, portable, they have them. They're only a couple of bucks. Definitely pick that up. Now, another item too. Let's see. We'll go here with this. It's around $10. A good little handsaw. Now, as you progress, and a lot of these preppers out there know, oh, get a silky, get a silky. Well, I've used this one for decent-sized little trees, and it does work. It gets the job done. And when you're on a budget, you're starting from scratch, you have to have something. This is where I would go. These are around $10. They can take a good beating, and they work. The key is they do work, and they can hold up pretty good. So start there. Now, the next item, this one is more of a... I would say on the lines of if you're carrying your gear all day and you have to go out foraging, for example. These little day packs are only around $1.50 to $2 if you check on Temu. It's just big enough to where you can carry about like 20 pounds in it if you have to get some extra, you know, say nuts, berries, some extra leaves, you know, to insulate something. You know, you can find uses for this. It's like a bonus item per se in my book. I always carry one of these in my packs. I have 2. I keep one in the car and I keep one in the house. Very handy item. If you can get one, pick one up. Or get a couple, which is what I would do. Next item. Let's see. We'll go here. This here is a dry bag. This one is, I believe, 10 liters. But what's nice is it keeps your stuff dry. Or also, you can transport water with this. It's a very, very handy item to have the ability to transport things, to keep them dry, if it's your socks, your underwear, or just, you know, getting the ability to carry extra water. These things are great. And they're not that expensive. They're only a couple of bucks. Definitely keep that in mind. The next item we shall go to. This is a good one here. The good old fishing kit. And it's a little dirty because I've had this thing for years, but I use it for everything. You have some of your lures in there, you know, some extra fishing line, your sinkers, some hooks, you know, all of your basic stuff for fishing. You know, this little thing here for split shots or sinkers is so great to set up a simple fishing kit. Because you put one in there for your line, a couple of things of bait, then your hooks, all that jazz. Handy little item to have. Because one thing I always see with fishing kits is a lot of preppers only carry like maybe 3 or 4 hooks. And if you're a fisherman, especially me, you're going to lose those hooks in a couple of days. And with this, you can carry about like 100 hooks, and they weigh nothing. And it's a handy little thing to have. That way, if you're fishing long term, that way you have a decent little inventory of hooks and, you know, sinkers and that to get you by. The next item, let's see, where can we go? We'll go here. We have here. Now, depending on the weather, they make multiple versions of this. It's a good face mask that covers your ears, keeps you warm. This one here is more for spring, and it's camo. Digital camo, I should say. But having one of these for either spring and winter is going to give you a major advantage if you have to post up somewhere in the woods, per se. We're also getting to this item, a good scarf. And with this item, it's very, very big. You use this to filter things. If you need to filter like large debris out of your water, that way you can actually have an easier ability to, you know, filter water out, boil it, and drink it. It's a great little item. It's a nice little headscarf, comes in handy. The next item, yes, getting back to morale. A good deck of playing cards. These ones are made of PVC, waterproof, must have. Great item. Comes in handy. If you're stuck somewhere and you have to, you know, have some entertainment, this is a good way to go. And also, right here we have a radio and a bow fang. Now this one here, you could take your preference of what you like. If you want to just carry an emergency radio or have, you know, a flashlight built into it too, it depends on your preference. Me personally, I keep this one for home use here, this guy right here, and then this one I take with me because this one has an FM radio built into it, and it has good range too. And what's nice is it's small, it's compact. Communication is a big thing too to think about. And they're only like around like maybe $15 for a bow fang. Emergency radio is about $15. But I mean, if you look around, you can find some cheaper ones too. The key is make sure they can crank charge though too. And then of course for navigation. Navigation. You want to have a compass. Simple, great to have. It's going to get you where you need to go. Great item, comes in handy. Definitely a must-have. Then, of course, another item here. Eye protection. This one is a big one. Now, you could buy a set of these at Dollar Tree just to have simple eye protection. These ones here are workshop quality. They're heavy duty. They could take some damage. These guys here, once you get more advanced, say you start off with a pair of Dollar Tree protection glasses. Then you get something more advanced that could take, you know, major damage. If you get hit in the face with something, this is going to protect you a lot better. You know, you have to start with, you know, what you can, of course. So go Dollar Tree and then work your way up if you need to. And then I think I covered almost everything here. Wanted to be sure. Oh yeah, then of course this guy. As you advance, a simple stove attachment for, you know, your butane fuel, propane, whatever it may be. You can start carrying one of these too. But yeah, this is part 4, and you know, gotta bear with me here. I'm very tired. I work night shift, so I do these videos when I can. But yeah, this is part 4 here. gives you an idea of what to add to your bag as you advance. I'll do a part 5 here eventually, but take notes here, folks. When you're on a budget, you think, okay, I can get this 1 week. Then next week I'll get this. Then I can get like one of these, or I can get one of these. As you grow and learn and gain experience like I did, and I'm just your average Joe, like everybody else. I'm not one of these preppers out here that has a warehouse store. I'm always getting sponsorships. It's like, I'm a small channel. I want to give advice to people who need it, who need the ability to, build stuff on a budget. Here's another example. Like, these are only $2 for this. You get all of your sinkers in there, and then get a decent thing of hooks for about $1, a couple of lures for $1, and then some fishing line for $2-3, and you have a fishing kit. If you shop around and look, and the biggest thing I always say too is check for discounts. Coupon codes, that's another big one, coupon codes. And then, set yourself up. You see something that's on sale that you need, pick it up, and you will be good to go. But I will do part 5 here soon. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Anonymous Prepper, and I'm out.